And welcome back to episode 69 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my punk ass point man and co host, Malcolm Ron Burgundy Jr. King.
Man, get out of here. Episode 69 had to bring the grown and sexy.
Is that what that is?
No, I'm just playing. But, I figured, episode 69, team got blown out. Might as well come in fashion since I'm going to go out in blazing flames.
Nigga, I know that ain't no motherfucking designer blazer you got on. And if it was, you wouldn't put your funky ass in it without a shirt on. So
nope.
You ain't in fashion, motherfucker.
Okay, all right. It's the under 30 shit.
We got Les Snipe in the building back again. What's popping with you, my G?
Man, what's going on, man? The Birds won. I don't know how Justin Tucker did it, but we got it.
Listen, I ain't mad. Well,
Who'd y'all beat again? Who'd y'all beat again? The Ravens? Who they beat again?
Man, these weak-ass Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's saying something.
The Lions have been... They ain't a sleeper, man.
So let me ask y'all.
That game.
So let me ask y'all then, since the game was close, even though the Ravens won, was that more of the Ravens must have not played as well, therefore it was close, or is it that the Lions may be a team to need to look out for?
I think the Lions could be a team to look out for. I don't think by any means they're like I don't think they're making a run for it at all, but I do think that they've gotten considerably better with Goff back there. And I think they could be the team that knocks a lot of teams off of being able to make it.
I agree.
The gatekeepers, so to speak. We got Don in the chat back again. He said he hate the Lions.
Listen, any apparent reason, or?
I mean, that's that team up north. We don't care if it's college or pros, baby. That's that team up north.
Michigan undefeated still, by the way. But anyways, yeah, I mean, every team has its day. But that the Ravens definitely pulled it off. Now the Raiders, y'all play. Cliff, remind me. Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So I posed the question for you the same thing. Even though y'all came out with the win, was it that the Raiders didn't play that well, or Miami again is a good team, maybe a better team than we think?
I mean, that's a great question, and I don't think Miami is any better than anybody thinks. I just think it's a situation where the Raiders, like we talked about earlier, they play up or down to their competition. So if they're playing good competition, they play better. When they play bad competition, they play worse. To give an example, last year, I would say beating Kansas City early out the gates and then struggling with the Jets, as you know.
Yeah.
It's that's just how they play. So I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Miami. I think they're trying to make moves, but they're not where the Lions are.
Right. No, they're definitely better than the Lions. I agree.
Yeah, I don't think they were. No, I think the Lions are better than Miami, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as of right now, yeah, I agree. But with how they're looking, no, I agree.
No, I think that Miami, and this is going to sound wild, but I think Miami at the current moment is trying to make moves. I get the vibe from Detroit that they're satisfied with Goff.
So far,
he hasn't did bad for real.
Well, yeah. I don't mean like they should replace him. I'm saying they brought Goff in, but then what are you going to bring in next for Goff to help him out? And right now I feel like they're just satisfied with just getting Goff. They haven't made any moves to bring somebody in to help out. I think Miami's a little more willing. And I don't know if that comes from them maybe not losing faith in Tua, but seeing that he's going to need a lot more than what he currently has to get it done. So I think they have a bigger fire lit up under them to make things happen for Tua. But at the moment, I got to give it to Detroit for being at a tier above the Dolphins. I guess they could be in the same tier, and the Lions just may be higher in it
at the moment. At least at the
right.
moment. Tua, yeah, they got that wide receiver. Miami did. The other wide receiver, right? Waddle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Jaden or Jalen.
Yeah.
Jalen.
Yeah, I believe it's Jalen Waddle. Yeah. So,
he was doing some things against us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's gonna be on the rise. But yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to ask you to get your opinion on as well is, we all may or may not know, for everyone out there as well, Josh Gordon is back in the league again. So my question for you and Les, Cliff, is number one, how do y'all feel about Josh Gordon going to the Chiefs, his addition to the Chiefs? You know, what he's going to bring to the table for them? And the second part of the question is, do you think Josh Gordon should have been allowed back into the league? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is like a 6th or 7th or so stint. You know what I mean?
6 suspension. But weren't they all weed?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, it's all substance abuse. It's all substance. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I don't. The only way I see them, and they are still punishing him, because I don't know if you heard, but they haven't cleared him to play this Sunday against the Eagles.
I see that.
So I don't understand why you would still punish that man for that if weed is now a non-testable drug in the league.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not saying it's legal, but they're saying we don't test for it. So, you know, if that's what you do, oh well, we're not testing for it. My whole thing is the only reason why you could still possibly be punishing that man is the insubordination of multiple. You know what I mean? Like, because you got caught and continue. You're a repeat offender at this point. So I don't think it's so much them still being on his ass for the smoking of the weed as it is the repeated.
It's the principle.
Right.
Like, yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, Josh Gordon, before all this stuff, he was a great wide receiver, and then he was plagued with injuries on top of suspensions. So, I think he's 30? What is he, 30, 31?
30, he's 30.
Ooh.
So, I mean, a wide receiver's lifespan, he's kind of out the window. Like, he's kind of past his prime. He hasn't played. He's like a Le'Veon Bell, man. He was out the league for a little bit. So, I just think that I don't think he's going to be as vital as we think.
You think Leslie's not going to help the Chiefs out much?
He's really not, bro. He's just a high profile name.
I'm going to tell you why I don't agree.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just because I do agree with, you know, like the specific lifespan of certain positions. Wide receiver, not so much. You know what I mean? Because I feel like since this current era of football is geared to basically accommodate the quarterback can't be anything without his wide receiver. So you start seeing rules to protect them as well, such as targetings and things of that nature. So they're not taking as much impact or damage as you would normally think. Now, he's 30, but as you know, he hasn't been in the league for 2 years.
Rusty.
Now, definitely he's not going to come back A1. I can guarantee you that. But we also don't know what it is he's been doing for them past 2 years. So as long as you've been, I wouldn't even say, as long as you've been somewhat working to where your first step, because let's be honest, everybody loses their first step at some point. But as long as you have a decent first step still, I think that would be more of a recharge than him growing out of his prime. The 2 years him being out.
I hope he comes out balling, bro. Because I'm tired of seeing these players come out here and they get these deals, and then it's like, bro, it's
4-5.
Bro, they
come
be
back like Mike with the 4-5.
I want to be happy for that young black man to come back. But bruh, you've been smoking that weed, something crazy, and now all of a sudden, I think you're gonna be a little winded. It's 4-5, probably gonna be a 4-7. I think it's gonna be a little slow, and I think with these new corners we got out here, these new gen, I think he's gonna have some problem. Plus,
I don't think
he's not even gonna be the top 2 receiver, right? He's gonna be like, he's gonna be like 3rd or 4th option. Yeah, what type of production is he gonna put up?
I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. Because let's be honest, right now you're being provided an opportunity back. This is almost like an Odell Beckham situation where you just got to shut the fuck up and take it.
Or Antonio Brown.
Yeah, bro, you got to ball out.
Or Antonio Brown. You just got to shut the fuck up and take it. You can't be the ego anymore. You just have to shut the fuck up, take the receptions that come to you, and show up to practice and do what you're expected to do. Now, with a Josh Gordon being your 3rd, 4th option, what does that mean your 1-2s are? So I would still see that as a very big threat, seeing a Josh Gordon line on the field across from me as a DB.
Yeah.
And I haven't been too impressed with the current, defensive backs that I have seen. Granted, like they say so often, it's getting harder and harder to play defense in the league anymore. Right. I definitely agree with that, but I think it's geared for a wide receiver to be able to show out if they, perform. And Josh Gordon was always a performer, so I think he's still good. To answer your question, Malk, I think that's a great pickup for the Chiefs, even if he gets pushed until week 7. You still got Josh Gordon come week 7.
That's another option. It's another threat on the team. He's still a threat. Just the name itself is a threat. So, I mean...
It's a wait and see approach.
And with Mahomes at your quarterback, maybe Mahomes will get them together. Maybe they'll bond. Maybe I can see that. Bonding with Travis Kelce and them guys. Maybe it'll really click. Maybe he will do right. Kind of like Antonio Brown, right? Went to a great team. Got Tom Brady, Gronkowski, some other guys, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, etc. He shut the fuck up like Cliff. He's been playing ball. You know what I mean?
So wait, let me think about that. And not to cut you off, but so you got Tyreek Hill.
Travis Kelce.
I'm thinking of other wide receiver.
There's a
Watkins.
Watkins, yeah. Sammy.
Nah, he left. He went to Baltimore.
Really? Hold on.
He's on Baltimore. He's number 14 on Baltimore.
Is he?
Yeah, we picked him up in the offseason. That was one of our big picks.
Oh yeah, he is in Baltimore. It's
Hartman. Matt Hartman. Number 17.
So Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Maurice Fountain, Marcus Kemp, Marcus Robinson, Byron Pringle. This is a little wide.
I remember him. He's a special teams.
Yeah, no, then I don't know who I was thinking of.
Yeah,
that's their active roster.
Yeah, I don't see, because I was thinking I don't think I see him being.
It might be the number 2 option. He might become the number 2 option.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he could if he performed. Yeah,
I think he has a good chance to. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he could.
I don't even know who I thought I was thinking of other than Watkins, but I did think that there was somebody else. I can't. But none of those names turned on any light bulbs, so I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. He may end up being the second option in a situation like that. And I definitely think that you have no choice but to respect a Patrick Mahomes, even though you're the big dog.
Right.
Or the OG, so to speak. You know what I mean? This is a young legend in your midst.
It's Patrick's team, regardless.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
And once again, this is your redemption story, so shut the fuck up and fall in line.
And put the weed down.
You don't even have to do that. We're not even asking you to do that. Just don't violate any other policies to make them feel like this guy's insubordinate. Get him out of here. Keep smoking.
When you get your touches. He said keep and you better catch the ball when it's thrown to you.
Listen, I
better not be seeing them drops. I better not be seeing 3, 4, 5 targets and you only got 1 catch for 8 yards. I better not be seeing that.
But they probably got him on a program anyway, where it's like, even though they don't test for weed, I bet they they test him. Right. You know what I mean? Kind of like how when a fighter pops dirty for drugs, they got to go through months of VADA testing before they even allow them back in the reinstate their license.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's on it.
Yeah, he might get an extra additional responsibility.
Well, if I was his coach, I'd be like, nigga,
Andy
piss clean until they stop testing you, and then smoke all the weed you want, but piss clean until then.
Andy Reid is good at reviving, like when Vic got let out and we picked up Vic back in the day in Philly. So I think Andy Reid will be able to hopefully get through to Josh Gordon, maybe, you know.
I think they put more mud on Vic's name than Vic was the issue having to remold him. You know what I mean?
You said you think they put more on
like
Vic's name?
They made like that, and I'm not saying that he didn't have any part of the situation. I'm just saying that I think they put more on Vic than Vic is that bad guy that did that. So what I'm getting at is when Andy Reid got a Vic, he didn't have to do much molding. Vic was already a good dude. He just got so much put on his name, it made him look like he had to be. Because if that was the case, how does he end up being a commentator?
Right. Paul Pierce was too until all that shit.
But think about it. Think about everything that they said bad about Vic, and then for him to be the kind of guy, I don't want to sound like a white dude, you know, like articulate enough and, you know, like intelligent enough to sit behind the broadcast desk with everybody else and speak on, you know, that's not the type of guy they described him to be when he went down for that shit. Was not that guy.
Right.
And Andy Reid doesn't create that guy out of the man they said Vic was. So clearly it seems like you got it wrong when you were saying what you thought Vic was. Now his people, I'm sure they were guilty of everything you said they were. Maybe not. But I don't know that Vic was so much.
Right.
And maybe Vic came up around that, and it wasn't that deep to him.
Right.
But let's be honest, he's in fucking camp. He's training. How much time does he have to fight dogs in his spare time after 3 days and film study? And he's the quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's guilty by association mainly.
Right.
Yeah.
But they tried to make it like he was the ringleader.
Yeah.
Like, what? You think that dog fighting money was better than what he was getting come on now.
They try to turn Mike Vick into like a Big Meech or something.
He was a Big Meech and dog fighting.
They're like, Michael Vick. He's a criminal.
When you really wanted, let's just be 100. When he was just a real dude, and he probably had a situation where he was like, "These are my people. My people are welcome in my home. Of course, they can stay there while I'm gone. Do what you do.
Right.
And you did something you ain't had no business doing, and now I take the fall because y'all was in my house."
Yeah, they was shooting craps on dogs.
Bro, they said there was like a bunch of dogs buried in the backyard and stuff.
That's what they do. That's part of that culture. That's exactly what they do.
Vic was like, probably just don't make a scene. Do what you
do. He probably wasn't even there half the time. Vic probably wasn't there at all.
It was probably a situation where he came home one day and was like, "What the fuck is all that dirt in my backyard?" And they like, "Oh, you know, like, well, I bet y'all better get these motherfuckers the fuck up out of here. I know, but y'all better do that." And motherfuckers probably got caught bringing them out or doing something, and then it was like, that bam, now it's on Vic.
That's how you know Vic wasn't stern, y'all, because I feel like y'all said I would have been snapping, like, bro, what you,
listen,
man. Yeah, bro.
They would have found dog bodies and whoever started this shit in my house's body back then.
Because at the time, y'all, wasn't Vic like the highest paid player with whatever contract he had? Like,
he was.
Now that would have pissed me off, like being so generous to open up my home to you, and then you do something that could sacrifice what I have going on
of your life. Yep, and
I would have to keep my head not to take it further.
Right.
I would literally have to keep my head. Okay.
Because what do they have to lose?
Nothing.
You got to lose everything.
But that's here or there.
Yeah. Anyways.
How do we get to Vic?
Philly, Andy Reid.
I knew it had something to do with Andy Reid.
I said Andy Reid just like he did Vic.
But who do you think he needs to revive now? Oh, Josh Gordon. There we go. Bingo.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for those fucking kids, those fucking, what'd he say? If it wasn't for you nosy.
Oh, Scooby Doo!
Kids.
You nosy. If it wasn't for you nosy meddling kids,
Right.
every episode everybody got the same line.
Right.
Like it's a universal script.
Fucking kids.
I would have got away with it.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's a good pick. It's a good pickup for them. Speaking of pickups,
Yep.
Richard Sherman signs with the Buccaneers.
Whoa! Really? Source?
Yep. I mean, it was on ESPN and everything.
Ian Rappaport?
Okay, I haven't. Let me see. I haven't.
Who reported on it?
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was.
Because usually it pops up on my phone, but no. Richard Sherman, now with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, says arrest led to really positive changes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He said Tom Brady himself called him and said, "How would you feel coming to Tampa Bay?"
Tom's
And he
another
said-
one.
And Rich said, "You know, when you get a call from Tom, even if you don't want to do it, you like, I'll regret it if I don't."
Yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
and LeBron are very similar. Very similar. The
right.
fact that, look at LeBron. He said I know I'm talking about NBA, or NFL, but LeBron, I guess, called Carmelo personally and said, "Come on, the time is now." I just
Well,
seen
you
that
know,
quote
but
the
that's
other day.
different though.
I mean, they go back. They're
before
friends.
high school and shit.
That's true. But I mean, he's trying to like. What I'm saying is,
but I
they're
understand.
both similar and trying to help somebody they feel like they can help. Win games, maybe a better person. Win a championship.
The difference is the people Tom Brady chooses to acquire on the team actually make a difference to the team, and the people LeBron chooses usually don't do shit.
I mean, this is true, but I mean, this is a different year, so we're going to have to see. It's a different subject. But trying to hate on my squad.
I'm not
Richard-
hating. I'm just saying LeBron, as we've always said, he's not the best GM. He's
What
not
is-
the best guy to pick people to be with him.
I agree. So Richard Sherman is 33 years old.
That's a steep.
How effective is Richard Sherman supposed to be?
It's good. It's good though. They say because, like they said, when they were talking about it on ESPN, the biggest area that the Bucks can improve is their pass defense. Richard Sherman doesn't have to start at corner to effectively improve their pass defense.
Coach him up.
Richard Sherman's a player coach, as we talked about earlier in the beginning when we were talking about John Gruden talking about getting him on the Raiders. Nobody wanted Richard Sherman to start. Maybe a game or two, maybe show these kids some techniques or how it
Right.
should be done, but nobody expected you to play all 17 games. We want these
Okay.
young boys to play, and we want you to coach them from the sidelines. Sub in to show them the difference. They're hitting you on this zone. Let me go in for a few plays and show you what I'm talking about.
So you're not signing for skill. You're saying with someone like him right now.
He's
You're
only
signing
signed for a year anyway. That's not a
Really?
skill sign. That's
Well,
a
they could
we'll see
always
how this
extend it.
works sign.
They could right. I agree because they did the same thing with AB.
Right.
And then they re-signed him. Obviously.
Probably it's probably incentive based too. So he's not there for his base salary is probably he's a veteran, so he's probably getting like $3 million, and it's most of that's probably incentive. So I mean, I like it. I like it. I
It's
just
probably getting less than that. Isn't the vet minimum lower than that?
I think it is.
I think it's like 2.5 or 2.4
Oh, okay.
or something like
that's
that.
cool. That works for him, and he has a potential way of getting a chip. That's another way of Tom just being a friendly friend and saying, you want to piggyback, get a chip, why not? You want to make it run?
And you know what?
Right.
That whole thing. Not to, because we've been real conspiracy with this specific podcast, but that whole thing really made me feel a certain kind of way about Rich being president of the player association and them, making vaccines mandated on the players and shit. I think him going crazy and all that is correlated. Because if you notice in the NBA, all the players are coming out who aren't vaccinated and giving their piece on why not. And then LeBron actually had to come out and tell them why he didn't vote with the Players Association on mandating vaccines. And he was like, when we're talking about people's health, like, I just think that that's a personal opinion. That's something that they should, decide personally. We shouldn't have any say over whether they do that or not.
Yeah.
And so you got to think, when the media and people like that put pressure on somebody like LeBron to have to come out and say that, what do you think the NFL did to a little old Richard Sherman? I bet they were
Yeah.
wringing him out like a washcloth.
Mm.
And it was just driving him crazy, like to the point that he was like, I'm getting it from both ends. The players are telling me this, the owners are telling me this. I don't know what to do, and it probably just drove him fucking nutty.
And then you don't know what's happening at home too, you know. So
Right,
you
on
combine-
top of
you
all the bullshit. No, I get
combine
it.
all that. That's a lot. Yeah, like
Listen.
you said, it's a lot.
But I guarantee there's a correlation between the two. Because I noticed that as soon as I heard LeBron say that, I rubbed my chin and said, Now, if they
NFL.
did this to LeBron to the point that he needed, big old LeBron needed to feel comfortable by coming out and giving his reasoning as to why, then what the fuck did they do to little old Richard Sherman? And it's the NFL as opposed to the NBA. I bet you it was all kinds of bullshit going on that drove him nuts in that situation.
I agree. I could agree with that.
And
That's a good point.
what better place to be comfortable with big old God like Tom Brady?
Yeah,
Now
he
at
is
least the
Tom Brady's
NFL
God.
can't get to me, right? Because Tom
'cause
Brady
Tom will make
provides
something
that
happen.
protection.
Tom can make a phone. Tom
You
makes
feel what I'm
things
saying?
happen.
Like it all started to make sense to me, and I know that's a conspiracy theory, but
Same
that
with
to
AD.
me is leaning a little bit more towards could be right than could be wrong.
Mm.
Yeah. What's that? Give us that term. Terrence Howard said, I could be right, I could be wrong, but I could be right.
Yeah, that was
If I was right, I was
That
wrong.
was,
But I was wrong, I was
He
right.
said
What's
because
the
I could have been
actor's
right.
name?
So what'd you say about
He said, "Yeah, what's his name? What's the actor?
Terrence Howard?
Yeah, right. He said even when I'm wrong, I'm right, and even when I'm right, or something like
No,
that.
he said when I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong,
Wrong.
I'm right.
Because I still could have been
Still could have
Could've
been
been
right.
right.
That is right. Hey, that's some shit.
That's a deep- It's a
Let
deep
that-
trip.
All right.
Let
That's
that sink
basically
in.
saying, listen, I'm the judge and jury. I make the decisions. You know, I don't need a verdict. I was right because I could have been right.
But we're talking NFL. I was going to say, to add on to what you said, that LeBron came out the other day on Twitter and said he's vaccinated. I guess he got the vaccine.
Right.
See?
That's what I'm saying. That pressure. So LeBron comes out and says he's vaccinated, right? Then he comes out and says why he feels like nobody else should force anybody else to be vaccinated.
Contradicting.
No, it's not contradicting at all. It's just to me it's a plea for acceptance. Right? But at the same time, it's you standing up and saying why I'm not gonna be a dickhead. Because let's be honest, if anybody wanted to be a dickhead, it could be LeBron James. Listen, I'm vaccinated. All y'all niggas need to be vaccinated. If I get vaccinated, y'all can't get vaccinated. But instead, he's going with what he feels. It's your personal choice.
Right.
But I want to explain to the media and everyone else that I am vaccinated, but I want to let y'all know that it is your personal choice. That's why I didn't vote for mandatory vaccinations.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
You feel me?
That makes sense.
NFL already has it in line for mandatory vaccination, so that's why I said, what do you think they were putting Richard Sherman through? Because clearly the owners won, so what were the players saying to Rich when Rich was fighting the fight? Like, don't think I'm going to get this done, y'all.
I don't know.
That is stress.
That is crazy.
This ain't just no little power puff situation. It's a lot of money on the line for a lot of people that feel a lot of ways about it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And everybody knows when it's a lot of money on the line, a lot of crazy
People
shit
fold.
goes on behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially when you can't afford. Especially when you can't afford the like these younger players to get into the league, man, they can't afford for a lockout, or they can't afford to just be sitting out missing money on games because they're not vaccinated, or if they catch the Rona, now they get $10,000 a game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know you get fined, and then you lose, you don't get paid, and then you sit out, but
That's a lot to lose as a young player, man. That you ain't even solidified in the league yet. You got to get your league years in so that you can get to your veteran time in, so that you can even make some money and get to that contract. So no one can afford to be.
Rookies gotta be vaxxed.
They have
gotta
to.
be vaxxed. Rookies gotta be vaxxed.
Because they don't have no say.
If you
They don't have no
refuse, you're
choice.
not playing.
Right.
You're off the team.
Yeah, it's over. So it's sad, but it is what it is.
I mean, listen. I'm not gonna say that.
Lamar's fighting it, and unfortunately, he's already popped a couple times with it. So it's gonna take one more time, and John Harbaugh and Steve Biscotti gonna have that conversation. So
speaking of conversation, do y'all think it's too early to put the panic button on the Steelers right now, or do you think that they may bounce back and recover? Because they're 1-2 right now, and y'all know Steeler Nation up there is panicking from what I've seen and heard.
But that one that they did get was the Bills.
Yeah, the first game.
And that's a good win to get. So that kind of lets you know, even if it was Bills on a bad day, that still lets you know that the Steelers can compete at the top level.
Right.
They may not have it together now, but they can compete at the top level. And when you got a team like that, they're still dangerous because it's only a matter of time before that switch flips and they're like, okay, now we got our flow here.
Okay, but what about Roethlisberger? Roethlisberger, to me, he's washed up. He's not your guy.
I'm not going to say
he's a shell of himself.
I'm not going to say I don't agree.
He's a turtle shell.
Like how much can you realistically, how much can you really do with Ben Roethlisberger at this point in his career?
I'm not gonna get a chip. That's a fact.
Hey, but that's the goal, though, right?
But with Mason Rudolph, are you?
Dwayne Haskins, I guess he's looked good in their offense. Dwayne Haskins, quarterback.
I think Mason. I think Mason edges him out.
Yeah, I agree, but once again,
I don't think Cam gets you anywhere with the Steelers.
I think Cam and Najee and
he could give a spark.
That's what I'm saying.
He could give a spark,
man. He comes with a certain swagger, and Tomlin. I play him and Tomlin.
But Pittsburgh's not the type of team that'll just turn their back on years of effort.
They don't.
And while that may be their best move to get rid of a Ben and bring in somebody that can assist.
Too loyal.
I can't see Pittsburgh doing that.
You know what, though, y'all? They were trying to, I thought I heard, let go of Ben or tell him, like, basically go ahead and retire because they said we're going to drop your money. But Ben was like, that's okay. And that's why he resigned for less money, a lot less money. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Obviously, I guess they're in the rebuilding phase, but I've seen a lot of Steeler fans kind of panicking, upset right now.
What is Mike? Mike's in the chat talking about nah, what? And why your ass ain't on the show, Chunk?
White Mike or Mike Brown?
White Mike.
Oh.
I don't think they should.
Mike Brown don't know technology enough to be in the chat.
He really don't. I
don't think Pittsburgh should panic.
They ain't dumping Ben for the loyalty factor. That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
Loyal to a fault.
Mm-hmm. That's their best bet though at the moment is get rid of Ben and pick somebody up. Maybe not even a starter, but somebody that can assist with the progression of Mason and Haskins.
Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm. You think?
Ain't he injured though?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's on Washington.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yep, I think he's hurt.
They wouldn't get a guy like him. I wouldn't think, but
they need a veteran. They need a journeyman. They need somebody who's been around a little bit.
Give Cam Newton a shot, man. Give Cam Newton a shot.
You know they be hating on black men, man. You already know how you know how Pittsburgh black quarterbacks work out, man. You already know how that ends.
Yeah, so. They only had Cordell Stewart.
Yeah, and who else?
Charlie Batch. And
Vic. Batch was there for a little bit.
And Vic was at the end, and Vic came in on like 3rd and 1. Like he wasn't.
Vic. That was what.
Washed up.
Man, listen.
Why he was a shell of himself for real in Pittsburgh.
I'm talking about just drafting. They never looked at it. Like you know how many drafts they've had
where
they
could have come across. Situation. Because I'm sorry. Continue what you were about to say.
No, I'm just saying as far as like when you look at when we talk about the Patriots, we talk about these different teams, right? They're historically known for certain types of caliber of quarterback.
Right.
Pittsburgh's known for that pocket passer, not a scrambler. Not you have to be disciplined. You got to be able to, they pick guys.
One of the original scramblers, though.
He was a a slash player. They consider him a slash player.
Yeah, I would say so. I was just gonna say I don't know what I was gonna say.
All I'm saying is Pittsburgh can benefit, tremendously. They if they approach the situation a little bit different, man. You know,
Okay. Yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's not a draft situation because Pittsburgh is always going to be a middle of the pack team, which means you're not gonna be able to find nobody in no draft that's gonna be worthy of taking over your team as far as a quarterback goes.
so then what do you suggest? You have to go and sign a free agent and pay the money.
Or acquire, yeah, acquire like yeah, because I mean you got to think about it. Even most teams that are taking young quarterbacks, they're taking them for a reason. They're not taking them to offload them. So it's not like you're ever gonna get, unless you really start tanking, you're never gonna get low enough to get a good quarterback in the draft. So you're gonna have to get like somebody let go, like a Mitchell Trubinsky that went to the Buffalo. You got to catch one of those players that are like mid-season. Like you're not a rookie, but you're not a vet yet, but you're mid-season to where I can catch you when you're leaving.
I mean, I could agree with that. I think the Steelers are going to have a terrible
Oh shit!
year.
Le-
My nigga, you broke up.
I believe that they'll actually get the pick. Or hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, you probably got off your Wi-Fi or something. Or your
My
signal
nigga
hold
walked
on.
away from the router.
Right.
No, I was walking to the whip. My bad. I was switching over. But no, what I was saying was, my bad, y'all. What I was saying was that like the Steelers just gonna have to go ahead and like just tank their season, bro. And that's the only way they're gonna really get a quarterback. Let's be real. I mean, we went over the options. Who can they really rely on? Dwayne Haskins is not your guy. Madoff Rule is not your guy. They're just fillers.
There go Britt in the building.
Oh, what's up, Brett?
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, Brett.
So yeah.
That's an interesting question to come into. Ben Roethlisberger,
Big Ben.
Big Benethin.
Old Ben.
What does Pittsburgh do with them?
Oh, they gotta rock with him this season.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, this season. You think they do? I mean,
I think it would be smart for them to start drafting a QB, for sure. I mean, he's just at that age.
but like I was saying to Les, like Pittsburgh is notoriously at least a mid-tier team, so that would mean they would never have a good enough draft selection to get a good quarterback unless they blatantly tanked. And how many people lose their job in the midst of that happening because of Pittsburgh's name and standing?
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily true because we all know where Tom Brady came in at. So it's just a matter of them, that being their focus and kind of finding that diamond in the rough. Like, hey, who could fit our system? I think it can be done. I don't think you have to have like a top 5 pick. So, I mean, like I said, they can, like, for example,
That's a good point.
Washington's quarterback right now, I don't know where he was in the draft, but he seems all right to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you can get that caliber
Henny?
of a quarterback,
It's not Henny.
it's like Hinkie or something like that.
Heineke.
Heineke, yeah. So it's like if you can get that caliber of a quarterback later on in the draft, then it's definitely possible.
That's a good point. That is definitely a good point. I don't know how often that comes around though.
Right.
A 6th
It comes up for
round
scouting.
gem like Tom Brady? That's a never.
Every blue moon.
That's a millennium.
I mean, it ain't got to be 6th round. You know what I'm saying?
But I get what you're saying though. Like, but yeah, I mean, even late, like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Dak went 2nd round, like shit like that does happen. But it's a lot of things that have to line up in order for as well. usually those when shit like that, Dak Prescott's and Tom Brady's, you also gotta look at who else came out that year, how many other quarterbacks were available, type shit.
All right.
You're talking about as far as like them getting like a late quarterback draft pick?
Yeah, I'm talking about like all the things that have to line up for that to take place. And I'm not saying it can't take place. I'm just saying.
You know what? I feel like Pittsburgh is one of those teams that they're typically good in all areas. Defense is usually good.
Right.
Running back is usually pretty good. And then they have Ben, who's, you know, a pretty decent quarterback. So it's like, I feel like they can get a mid-grade quarterback and still do their thing because all the other areas are going to be good.
Gives it more time to coach him up, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't think that Pittsburgh has ever been a team that solely has relied on a QB. They've always had the star wide receivers, defense, like. So I mean, I feel like they just got to get somebody middle of the road that can get them there, and the rest of the team will carry them.
Mike said, agree with Britt. Late first or mid-round quarterback, and I don't agree with her on shit. Yes.
Thanks,
yes,
Mike.
Heineken. Yes, Heineken. Someone to develop. Yeah, whatever.
Heineken.
Yeah, that is his name, huh? Without the N on the end.
Heineke. Yeah.
That is.
Ain't it like a CK or something in there? I gotta check and see how he's spelled.
Yeah.
Is it a CK?
Yeah, it's like HEIN. Yeah, ICKE.
Henny something. I don't know.
Hennessy,
I didn't know what it was.
Heineken.
Right? All that.
Hinker. Good
all
old
them
Hinker.
alcohol. See all that. But so what's Mason and Haskins then?
Mason is below average, and so is Haskins. So to me, they got if they can bring in an average, a little bit above average quarterback, they can definitely still hang with the big dogs. I think both of them are below average. Now, Haskins can probably develop into a better QB, but as of right now, he's below average in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say you didn't get enough tries. You got enough tries in Washington, and I mean, I understand you were still young, and you're another quarterback that was thrown into a situation early, like the Trevors and the Zachs. But I think it's more for. I think Haskins got a little more in him than people think. I think he came out of college too early was his biggest issue. He didn't know the game enough.
Nah, I think he just wasn't trying to work hard enough. Like, it was easy in college, and you get to another level, you're gonna have to put in some work. I don't think he put the work in.
Right. There you go.
Oh, Mike.
Mike in the building. Ain't that some shit? Ain't the white motherfucker the latest one, and you on white people time today, sir? Look, he looking confused.
Where Mike at?
I couldn't hear. The joint audio wouldn't pop up.
I said, what you doing on white people time today? You all late and shit?
Hey, man, I learned from the best.
Listen. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Had impromptu time with my son, so I couldn't say no to that.
Listen,
I had to drop him back off, so. But I'm back.
I know you was listening. What you said? You said you agree. What now?
No, I agree with Brett that Pittsburgh doesn't need a first-round quarterback. They can find somebody in the mid-round. They don't need a top-tier first-round quarterback.
Right.
They don't need an early first-round quarterback. They can find somebody in the middle of the road and build around him. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, they are a pocket passing team that has relied on Ben to be able to take shots.
Right.
Like, because of his size and his build, but that's not... Pittsburgh is a run-first team traditionally. Right. I know that's maybe a little different than where they're at right now, but even now, like, they want to run the ball first, and Ben is successful off of play action and making shit happen.
Right. Yeah, they're getting back to that run the ball.
I mean, honestly, Pittsburgh and Green Bay have a lot of, comparatively similar styles in that regard. They want to run the ball. They throw off of play action. And they try to hit you deep off of play action. Now, I know Green Bay similarly ain't quite there right now either, but But that's traditionally what those two teams like to do. And that's what, teams that rely on a defense rely on their run game and play action pass to control the tempo and limit the opportunities for the opposing team.
Pittsburgh plays like the people live in the city.
I mean, if you're thinking
Steel Town.
about exactly, like if you're thinking about old school Pittsburgh and Steel Town, yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Yeah,
By the
no,
way-
I don't know what the new school modernized corporate Pittsburgh is about.
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh is not a corporate town at all. City, right?
It's more than you think. There, so PNC's headquarters are there, and a bunch of biotech companies are headquartered there.
Now we know don't nobody be in them headquarters.
Oh, right
Vacation
now,
is
the whole
somewhere.
COVID thing. Columbus is actually home to a number of corporate headquarters as well. So
Yeah, Columbus is a
Heinz
corporate
ketchup.
type town.
What you say, Mount?
Heinz ketchup.
Heinz ketchup is in.
And they
Pittsburgh?
sold it. And
Oh,
they
did
sold it.
sell it? Mm.
It's Kraft now. I think Kraft or somebody bought it. Yeah.
Look
I
at
thought-
y'all.
Yeah, Kraft, and I mean, honestly, all the packaged goods industry has been shopped out to like 4 different places. It's like the fucking entertainment industry.
Look at
Everything
y'all,
is owned
y'all,
by Disney or Time Warner or somebody.
Pittsburgh history.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all I
Kraft
know
baby.
is Roethlisberger better turn it around, or he's next to be inducted in that history. But moving on, let's you know what? Let me first acknowledge Malk. I know he's been waiting so patiently in his blazer
Hold on.
for that action.
Go ahead.
He got his
I'm ready.
glasses.
Is that
I'm
a
on Harvard
blazer
tonight.
with no shirt on?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I called him Ron
Oh yeah,
Burgundy Jr.
I knew it was gonna get a little steamy on the show. So I said I blazer, no shirt. So let's get it over with. Go ahead, Cliff.
Listen,
Go ahead
if
and
he
say it.
crosses his legs and spin around in that chair, I'm gonna know he got 3 niggas
I'm
next to him.
getting
dressed the same
Playboy.
way.
I'm getting Playboy vibes from this.
Right. That's Hugh Hefner.
Not
Yeah, I'm getting
Malcolm.
Playboy vibes.
Originally, I
Malcolm.
told Cliff, I said it's episode 69. I said it's the grown and sexy. So,
Listen,
Oh yeah, we should have spent it like that.
right.
well, let me ask you, what nothing sexy about that game. So what happened with them Eagles?
Well, here's the bottom line. As I said before, we suck. I knew we were going to lose that game.
Oh,
I
when
didn't
you say
expect
this?
to.
I must have
I've
not
been
been
saying
on
it.
this episode.
I've said it for several podcasts, and I don't expect us to ever do much. But when we do more than what I expected, I feel good about it naturally, right? But here's the bottom line. The Eagles don't have much of a team as it is already. So when you go into a game, especially against a team like the Cowboys, the rivals with a stacked team, and you're plagued by injuries on top of not having very much talent at all, it's all bad news. And that's what it was all game, everybody. We all seen it. It's
So you feel like
bad news.
you've been plagued by injuries?
Well, here's the thing. Again, we already didn't have much talent to start with, right? We only
So
had a
one
handful of
injury
talent
could be a
class.
plague of locusts.
And it's always on defense. Imagine that. Defense already sucks. We get down 2 or 3 safeties and corners in the matter of 2 weeks. We're down. Now we got the 3rd and 4th people I ain't never heard of. 3rd, 4th, 5th string calling people up. Like, come on, man.
I will say though, I am even though he threw 2, one to your boy, and that you know why he threw that shit, because you was talking shit about how he wasn't good,
Ooh,
and he ran back a pick 6 on y'all motherfucking ass.
Diggs.
Trayvon.
No, I
Diggs.
said Diggs is cool. I said he's
No,
a
you
rookie
did.
though.
You said you thought he was you said you thought he was overrated and he wasn't nowhere near as good as people was making him out to be. We had that conversation off podcast on the phone.
I
Oh,
thought
if
I
it
said
wasn't
that
on the
about Jalen
podcast,
Ramsey.
it doesn't count.
I
second that.
said that about Jalen Ramsey. But anyways,
Nah, that was Trayvon Diggs. I remember.
well, he's still not. He's still not as good. He's still not as good as he's supposed to be. He went to Alabama. He's not. He gets burnt every week. I hope you do something against the Eagles. We suck. If you don't get an interception for a pick 6, you're terrible. It really.
Hey,
every
can we
week-
go on record? Can we go on record? Because I put it in the text, but I want to go on record on the podcast because just like Mike said, it doesn't count if it's not on the podcast.
Right.
When did I tell you the Eagles was going to get their next win?
You didn't even. Okay.
No,
you
she
didn't
did
even say.
say.
Let's roll the tape, please. Roll the tape.
Because I remember the conversation.
I'm just going to play it back because I just
plead
want
the
it.
fifth.
They will not win again until they play Detroit.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You said that.
Yeah, she said that.
I don't
She
even
did
know
say
if they
that.
win that.
Man, get out of here! Don't start.
I don't
that.
know.
I'm giving them that one. I'm giving
I
them
don't
the
know if
game
y'all
against
win that.
Detroit. Yep.
Don't
I don't know if
do
y'all win
that.
that. That ain't
Don't
gonna
do-
be the game they win. So let me go on record saying that that's not the game that they get.
But we
I'm-
definitely-
That's their next win. That's their next win.
yeah,
I
we
do-
I
definitely.
think they
What you got,
Unfortunately, it's not for another 5 weeks or
Ooh.
so.
So y'all finna be
whoa.
y'all finna be 7-1 because I
But-
said y'all ain't gonna get that one. So we'll try the next game after.
You mean 1-7?
1-7, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's about to be a cold winter and fall for us. That's all I have to say. We got the Chiefs this weekend, so I already know what that's going. That's what I'm saying. I already know. I
Listen,
prepared
y'all
myself.
should-
Hey, but
Same
you know
record.
what though, Malcolm? You cannot you can't just count any team out. Now, I don't think y'all gonna win, but that don't mean it won't be a game because I know Cliff and them was shaking in their boots a little bit on
Miami.
Sunday against Miami.
Without
Right.
Tua.
We talked
And
about
ya-
that.
You didn't even want to talk about that last week because you just thinking it was gonna be a straight blowout, and it was looking
No, I
mighty
just said-
scary.
I just said
Like
it
the
was.
Bills did to them. Just saying.
Just said it was gonna be a win. I don't want to hear nothing about that because y'all got lost to the Steelers.
On a fucking special teams play.
You
Give me a
lost
break.
to the
Week
Steelers.
1, special teams. You know it's trash. Those are the guys they just signed to the roster. It's fine.
You lost to the Steelers. But no, we talked about that, and I feel like the Raiders are definitely one of those teams that they played to
Play to
whoever
the
it is
level
they're
of the
playing.
of the
Right.
I
competition.
agree with that.
They play good with the good teams, and the bad teams they play horrible against. Like
Which is
almost
why
losing
they
to
will-
the Jets last year.
Which is why they will fall apart at midseason, which was my
Mm.
2 weeks ago.
I don't think so.
I mean, I really hope they don't, because the Raiders being good is good for the NFL because they are one of the more popular teams across the country. Like, for whatever reason, it's like them and the Cowboys are two of the top tier when it comes to like fan base across the U.S.
Is that right?
They really are. Yeah.
Well, I know the Cowboys
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, the Raiders are one of those teams that their fan base is not dependent on geography.
Oh no, not at all.
So,
Well, I know like a lot of older people mess with the Raiders. Like you know how like a
Right.
lot of like 90s, like people that grew up in the 90s mess with the Cowboys.
yep.
A lot of people that like that old school Raiders, I feel like a lot of people mess with them for
Raiders and Steelers for
Yeah.
Yeah.
what they did in the 70s and 80s. Like,
Yes, it.
I thought Britt meant 90-year-olds. I was about to say that's probably about.
nah, I was gonna say 90s babies, but I really meant 80s babies. That's why I was
But Britt, I told y'all everybody. I told Cliff this earlier. I said, man, even him as an '80s baby. I said, you've never gotten the chance to see your team win a ring. At least, since the span of your life, you've never once seen your team win. That's
I
tough.
can't talk, so
I mean, I can't either.
Dang, that's-
Nah, I
That's
choose
tough.
that can.
well, you know what? That's my final ending to my closing with the Eagles. I got to see my team win at least once in my lifetime. I'm
what year was that again?
2017.
Oh my God. You gonna
That-
hold
that-
on to that? We sweet.
That seems recent. comparatively,
Right.
so.
It really ain't
Within
though.
the past decade.
And you know why that's a win and an L? Because there's never been a bigger drop off from a Super Bowl victor to where they ended up being the following year than Philly.
Hey,
Philly will always find a way to put themselves in the book for fucked up, a way or another.
Hold on, I got one more Philly question before we move on from them. What is going on with Zach Ertz?
what you mean, like his production or his?
Yeah, like I feel like Cliff said, his drop off is just it's kind of like, what's going on? Are they trying to weed him out? What they trying to do?
He's had some injuries, I know, here and there, and I know that they weren't treating him with respect for a while with his contract and treating him like he should be valued. I think they kind of patched that up, it's recently from what I've seen. But yeah, I think he just they need to get him more passes. I mean, he was usually.
I mean, he
one of the
should be
top
like the
five.
Kerry Kittles of their. I said Kerry.
Yeah,
I agree.
the Jordan.
Harry Kittle.
That's why I'm laughing. He should be the Kittles of. He should be the Kittles of
Facts for the Eagles.
their team.
I know
Yeah.
exactly who you're talking about.
Because he was top three. Because for a while, Britt, they used to say it was Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Zach Ertz. within the
Right.
past couple of years, but that's changed now. So
Yeah, they
I
not-
agree.
Yeah, he gets no love.
I
Mhm.
think it's
Mark
Devontae
Andrews ain't in there?
Smith.
Is who last?
Mark Andrews ain't in the top?
Maybe this
Andrews.
year, but we were saying like the
Like
past like
couple
3 years,
Yeah,
Ertz was
up
like
there.
top tight end, one of the top tight ends in the league.
I think it's
Mhm.
Devontae Smith when it comes to this year because before he came back, there was that connection that he did have with Ertz, and it seemed like all that stopped when Devontae came out on the field and he started forcing balls into him that he shouldn't have been forcing.
Kind of like Baker and Odell.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what it was. Like that was his comfort blanket. And now that his comfort blanket is on the field, I'm not looking at anybody else
I agree.
because he's open. And that's what they were talking about. Look at the Ertz connection. And all of a sudden that dies off because Devontae's on the field.
You know what?
Yeah, and I'm happy he got exposed too against Dallas because some of those plays that y'all got off week 1, same type of play. He tried to throw that same shit and they was catching it. Like that little soft ass route to the post of the end zone.
What you talking about? Like that back corner that he throws?
Yeah, that little back corner where he tried to kind of like lob it over a little
It
bit.
seemed like all the balls point straight up before they get to the receiver.
Man, that shit ain't going.
Got
Throwing
a
in
lot
the
of
bucket,
air
man.
under him.
Right.
That's
Drill.
exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is, isn't it?
The Patrick
Hey man,
Mahomes.
coach is in the building. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, right. Goodness gracious, that's exactly what that is. Because I was looking at it like, why? Why is he putting that much air behind all of them?
Yeah, that's some college stuff. No,
No, it is. I mean, we practiced it in high school, so.
Yes, it's not. That's why I said it's not going in there. He got it off week 1 for whatever reason. I forget what bums y'all played, but I'm like, that ain't about to go all year. Ain't nobody going for that.
I do think he's a good quarterback, though. I think
agree.
I don't know.
I think that the mistakes.
develop.
Yeah, I think the mistakes that he makes are small errors, but overall, I do think that he will develop into being a good quarterback.
I mean, it's comparable to
agree.
Josh Allen in his first couple of years. Like,
I mean, he still has
a
time.
lot
So
of dumb mistakes,
Right.
but
Right.
makes up for it with general ability.
I like
And
his
takes
potential.
time.
I do like his potential. He looks good. He looks good.
he's no Baker, but you know.
He's gonna,
We're gonna start it on Baker.
right. It took Baker a little
like
while to
Baker,
get
but-
started.
Baker.
I don't know,
Ba-
but
you know what Baker's favorite play call is? Is this one right here. My bad.
Hey man, don't even, you're not giving Baker no respect.
No,
He really ain't that
actually-
bad.
I actually like Baker.
I like him too.
I like giving him shit
you.
when I'm on the podcast with you.
I like Well, let's get to you, Mike. I don't really know much about the Bills versus Washington. The only stat I do know about that game is that y'all lost to the motherfucking Steelers.
Yeah,
So,
week 1
tell me-
on a fucked up punt.
So tell me about Washington Bills. I know
I
you
mean,
watched it.
I did watch it. I didn't watch the Miami game the week before because it wasn't worth my time because we handled Miami with no problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Shots fired.
It's all right.
the Bills were up 21-0 in the first quarter, and then we give up
Yeah.
fucking 14 points in like 3.5 minutes.
It was
And
bad.
the only reason it happened is because the fucking announcers decided to say, "Oh, the Bills have put up 59 points to 0 from the opponent the drive before." So, fuck announcers for doing that kind of shit.
So the Bills heard that and they jinxed themselves.
They did.
You just
That's
feel
what
like-
announcers do. They have to
Hey,
run
no,
the game.
yeah, no
Left
lie.
ear
Mike is
commentary,
right.
right ear quarterback coach.
Right. Right. Exactly.
He said, "Oh y'all, we're about to audible in this play because they talking real live crazy about me. All right, I need to complete this deep ball. All right, ready, break."
Now, next time, let Britt finish when she said Mike's right. Like, just let her.
No, I was gonna say you were right. Every time the announcers say something, it happens. The announcers be like, "Hey, he hasn't thrown a pick all year. That next play, straight interception." Like,
That is right.
Now, Sunday, the Bills distributed the ball well. Emmanuel Sanders had a ton of receptions. Diggs had a number of receptions. Beasley had a number of receptions. And guess who finally got to fucking play? Zach fucking Moss.
Y'all's running back, yeah.
And he had a touchdown. He had a receiving touchdown and 60 yards rushing on 13 carries for a 4.5 fucking yard average. Give him the damn rock and learn how to run the ball.
Who's y'all starting?
But didn't Singletary still lead in rushing?
Singletary, I don't think led rushing, but he was the starter.
I thought he had. I thought he had. I thought he had a little something.
He had 11 carries for 26 yards and 2.5 yards a carry because he is trash.
He didn't get a touchdown.
Zach Moss should be the starter.
Did he get a touchdown?
No, he did not.
Nah, I told you Singletary ain't it. That's y'all's problem.
It's Zach Moss. And I've been saying that since week 3 of last year when he had one fucking fumble and then didn't play again for 4 or 5 weeks. Like he was, I can't remember if this is his second or third year, but has not had the opportunity to prove that is his spot to lose. And what he does is he's got explosion and he also runs hard, which is a tough combo, especially in the NFL, to be a guy that can make contact and get that yak, but also be that guy that can hit a hole and break away.
All right.
He's the only person in Buffalo outside of Josh Allen who can break a tackle. Singletary will run into it, and I'll give him credit. He keeps his feet moving, and he may not go down, but he's not getting any more yards. Zach Moss will fall forward and get that extra yard.
He played that year we did that live stream of the Raiders Buffalo game, didn't he? I think that's when I first recognized him, and I thought I liked him.
And so
he's trash.
Outside
Listen, if
of
you
that,
get the ball to yourself, I'm sorry, Mike.
Oh, go for it.
I was going to say if you're not sharing carries like they do with the Browns and a lot of other teams,
Dallas.
And you are pretty much getting the majority of the carries, and you can't get 100 yards.
Right.
Like he rarely rushes for 100 yards.
And
you do not need to be the feature back.
No, you don't. And the fact that Moss in his first real game this season is averaging 4.5 yards a carry to 2.5 from Singletary. Make the fucking call and make him the goddamn starter in the feature back.
You know
because
what?
we need to be able to run the ball. That was our biggest problem in the playoffs last year.
I agree.
We got to situations where we were relying on the pass. And to be frank, if the Bills do what I hope they do and have a number of fucking home games in the playoffs, they need to be able to run the ball because it's fucking cold in Buffalo.
Right. Right.
So,
Singletary gonna single-handedly ruin it for you.
Right. Tell me about it.
one thing, and that reminds me, Mike, one thing that I will go back to that Eagles and Cowboys game that I've been telling you specifically, Cliff, that I want to mention to everybody is Tony Pollard, the number 2 running back on Dallas, is better than Ezekiel Elliott in this current present day.
Oh, were we talking about that? That might have been a Saturday show with me and
You mean that game? Mean that game?
No. Since last season, Britt. Look it up.
And I said that. I said y'all paid Ezekiel Elliott all that money to have
For
Tony
what?
Pollard pull all the weight. I said that is fucking
That's
crazy.
Zeke finessed him.
But I mean,
crazy.
at the same time, then that's trade bait. I would take Zeke in Buffalo right now.
Oh, that would be nice.
No, you'll take Moss. You'll take Moss still, Mike.
No, don't get me wrong. Again, Moss should be the feature back in Buffalo, not Singletary.
Right.
But if we were going to make a blockbuster kind of trade, Zeke would be top of my list because one, he has no problem playing in the cold.
Now he does.
He played in Ohio. But
Yeah, he's playing in a dome now.
Well, he played in Ohio with the cutoff. Jersey on.
He won't play with that in Buffalo no more.
He's grown and hopefully a little smarter now. And in Buffalo, he'll have the long sleeves and everything he needs.
He still got some go. Let's not get it confused.
He's still probably
he has a little bit of burst
back if he wants to be.
Right, that's the thing.
I don't think he wants to be right now.
He's
in
a
Dallas.
Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, where I'll perform depending on where I'm at.
Right. And I think if if him or someone like him were in Buffalo and we could balance out the run and pass a little bit more than what we do today, Buffalo jumps in terms of
y'all would have the perfect
shot
team
to win the AFC title. I can't comment on the Super Bowl because we know our record in the Super Bowl. So.
Right. Who's y'all's tight end?
That's the other thing.
Knox.
You need a tight end too.
It's Knox, but that was my whole. Do you remember the whole draft special and all that we did? And I said I wanted that fucking tight end from Penn State.
Oh, never mind.
No.
But anyways, there were like 3 top tier tight ends, and we didn't take a single fucking one of them. Nor did we acquire anybody better really in the offseason. So
and that doesn't really make sense because y'all need blocking on the line as well as you need an extra route when they're doubling Diggs.
Right. And I mean, right now the distribution across Diggs, Sanders, and Beasley is good. And honestly, we should be okay in terms of having that extra option because Cole is like fucking what's his name? Welker in terms of he's the slot back that can find a window and get you the 3 yard or whatever.
You agree? You disagree, Britt?
What?
Oh, I thought I heard
No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's accurate.
But a tight end would open up. I mean, you see it with the best teams. Like you saw it last year with fucking Tampa Bay and Kansas City. Like
you need one. Look at the Raiders and Waller.
Right.
Like we're getting to the point.
Waller is a problem.
Man, we're getting to the point where the tight end is becoming the most needed receiver on the field.
I do not disagree with that statement at all.
I agree.
Because I mean, you got to think about it. It's always going to be a linebacker guarding or lining up against them. So if you got a 6'4" to 6'6" dude that can run routes, man.
Well, and on top of that, the thing that I don't get, like as a high school defensive coordinator, I am putting a defensive end over that tight end to jam him before he releases. Like I don't see that in the NFL. They like avoid them, and I don't understand that.
Right.
You're paying these fucking rush defensive ends millions of dollars. Give them a fucking jam at the line before you get into your pass rush.
You know why? You know why? Because because NFL becomes
flag football.
In a sense, yeah. Because NFL becomes every man for himself. Although it's a team sport, very quickly when you sign that contract and you see those incentives and you're like, oh, I get how much extra for 20 sacks?
Yep.
And you want me to jam a tight end? Fuck that, dude. He gonna have to cover that tight end because I'm sure his incentive is pass breakups and interceptions.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave him for him, and I'm gonna go after that quarterback. Like I don't think. Even if a team told a tight end to jam that receiver, I guarantee you wouldn't see it. You may see a little bump and a go in for the quarterback, but you're not going to see them because.
To your point, if their incentive structure is based around tackles for loss and for sacks, then you're absolutely right.
Right. I'm not touching him. I'm going for that quarterback.
And you know what? What I would say to that is the reality of that statement is probably not accurate because if you delayed half a second to jam the tight end,
more time on that quarterback.
You probably have natural separation from that left tackle that they're paying just as much money to keep you getting those sacks.
Right. And
so you've got a better angle to actually get there or at least cause, the hurry or the disruption.
Right.
But again, that's fundamentals and like Division I college football right now, the NFL is all about talent acquisition. In Division I football, it's all about recruiting. Nobody fucking coaches anymore.
Right. No, that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. There's no player development anymore after the college level.
Nope. And even in the college level, they're not. If it's a big time Division I program, they're not developing those guys.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
Ohio State's a perfect fucking example of that.
Nope, you're right. I don't like you using Ohio State as an example, but you're absolutely right.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not. But
That was all started by Urban too. Fuck him.
We'll move on. We'll move on. Just to give Britt some love, Browns Bears.
Well, I mean, what'd y'all expect?
I mean,
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah,
What'd y'all expect?
I mean, I'm not too impressed with the victory. It's really just
What?
no, I'm
Did
not.
you see all those sacks? You
Yeah.
didn't watch the game.
Myles Garrett had 4.5.
No. Not just Myles Garrett.
Well, there were 9
Clowney,
total sacks
don't tell
on
me
Justin
Clowney.
Fields
Yeah,
in that
we-
game. I saw him.
Did you see him at the end of the game? Did you see Justin Fields when when they put the camera on him?
Right, and that was my favorite thing about watching the game is not seeing him in distress, but I just think it's like that was the perfect welcome to the NFL game for him. Because when you say shit like the NFL, it moves slow to you.
That's what Fields said?
Yeah, he said it
How's
doesn't.
it feel now, Fields?
Right, he
How's
said
that
that. He
feel,
said I don't
Fields?
think it moves. I don't think it's any faster than college. I actually think it's slower to me. And you hear like you have to understand that the people that you're playing against have ears.
Right.
And
And
they hear that
they
shit.
hear shit. You already want to kill a quarterback. I don't care what quarterback. You could put my mom at quarterback. I'm probably gonna throw her hip out. I'm gonna
Don't
blast.
do mama like that.
Yeah, I was
I'm gonna
about to say,
blast-
You leave her alone.
You better be on my team because I'm gonna throw a shoulder at you if you're playing QB. And no, ref, that ball did not go forward. It's a fumble. You hear what I'm saying? But when you say shit like that and then you get hit 9 times and don't get shit off, then you start to ask yourself, like, did I have a like an accurate assessment of what I thought the league was? Like, maybe I should come at this from a different angle. So
No, and the flip side of that is maybe he was speaking from his experience in preseason where half of those motherfuckers ain't making the roster.
right.
Right? Like,
right.
That's a different preseason NFL and regular season NFL are two.
Different beasts.
You're
Different
right.
beasts.
You're right. I think you talked about that. I don't think he was on. I do want you to finish your thought. I don't think he was on the list of people that he might have been that may not pan out. I'm gonna have to look in that old book. He might have been. Now that I think about it, I think somebody thought he would do good. I said I hoped he would be. I said he would be the best attempt at an Ohio State quarterback because he's not a actual Ohio State quarterback. I do remember saying that. But yeah, this one should have been a wake up call for him. But what was you about to say, Mike? Yeah, I knew I said.
I think that, but I do think that as if you're a rookie QB and you know you going in the game, I think the best thing for you to do, no matter who you are, is just close your mouth. No matter who you're playing, just close your mouth.
Right.
Because when you start,
It's the Denzel. You're in a privileged position to learn a thing or two. Keep your mouth shut and your eyes open.
Right.
Oh,
period.
that actually brings me back to my point. This goes back to what Tom Brady was saying on the podcast before the season started. Like, and this comes back to the player development conversation. Him taking those hits is because he's not that good of a quarterback.
Right.
If he were a good quarterback, one, he'd know what his checkdowns were, where the blitz was coming from, and how fast he needed to get rid of that ball.
Right. Right.
And so that was my point to circle back to. Like,
So what
At the
was
end?
Tom Brady's point?
so
He
Tom
was
Brady.
saying-
Yeah, go ahead, Cliff.
Well, no, yeah, it was that we had a podcast about it. I think you were on it where he was saying that basically the NFL is ruining the game by calling all these penalties on defenses for good hits and
Oh, okay.
because your quarterback should know not to throw a receiver into danger or should be able to read a blitz from the blind side or things like that. And by you calling, he said, by you calling penalties on them for those hits, you're
Hurting the game.
right. He said you're hurting the game, but he said you're putting our well-being on the defense, and the defense shouldn't have to worry about if they're gonna hurt us before hitting us if they're just making a good hit.
Right. And the flip side of that was basically the reason why it's destroying the game is because one, you're allowing
You get to play sloppy.
Right. There is sloppier play, and honestly, at the end of the day, sloppier play leads to more injuries. Like it really does. At least that's my experience, especially, coaching for almost 15 years now. When kids get hurt in practice, it's because someone is going half speed.
You named it. We asked ourselves when we had been asking, why is it that all those players from back in the day lasted so much longer, taking so much more vicious hits than these kids do now? And that I guess that's it. Like you really have that sense of urgency out there when you know someone's gonna kill you when you catch that ball.
Well,
You could just fall on the ground and they shouldn't touch you or fall on you. It's easy to catch a ball and curl up in a ball on the sideline.
Right. True. And it's the same thing. It's my speech that I give to the scout team every summer when we put on pads. Y'all better be awake and protect yourself at all times.
Because it's a maniac on this field like me somewhere that doesn't care about my or your well-being. I'm just here to make pads crack.
Especially that first week of pads. Somebody's out to prove a point and earn a spot.
Right. Right.
Well, back to what you were saying, though, Cliff. You were saying that if he got hit that many times, he's not a good quarterback. And I want to disagree just a little bit
Mike,
for the simple fact. Like,
that was Mike. I didn't say.
Mike. Okay, yeah. My bad. I just want to disagree a little bit because I feel like you're taking away from my Browns and that line.
That line is
so
crazy.
I think that you say what?
I said that line is crazy.
I think that I'm not taking away from Fields. I think that we just was getting in there. Like it's hard to stop Myles Garrett. Period. It's hard to stop Myles Garrett, and when you get the rest of the team going, because usually Myles Garrett demands a double team. But if you can get the rest,
I wouldn't even say hard. I would argue, can you stop Myles Garrett?
Well,
not one-on-one. No, not one-on-one. But you can double them. But if you get the rest of the team going, which they did, you know what I'm saying? Clowney got him a sack. When's the last time he got a sack? But like I said, he had the rest of the team going. You can't do nothing with that.
I thought he got 1.5. Give Clowney his half. I think he had a half.
He had at least one. He had at least one.
Maybe he got two. I think he had 1.5.
Give him his half. He deserves it.
Oh, my bad. My bad. He had his 1.5.
We got a half a sack to play before that you didn't count.
My bad. But I'm just saying it was. There were others that got sacks as well, and I'm like, when you got the whole line going, like there's nothing you can do with that for real. Not to take away from Justin Fields because he probably a decent quarterback, but he was getting hit from all angles.
Well, and do the Browns run traditionally? Are they running a 3-man or a 4-man front?
4, I saw.
Before.
Yeah.
So in that case, like this is the coaching point that I give my players because D-line has been what I've coached outside of 1 year that I coached linebackers. If you command a double team, that means somebody else is unblocked.
Right.
And that should be the case, especially in a 4-man front. In a 3-man front, it's a little different.
Right.
Unless you're bringing pressure with it.
Somebody's always getting double teamed in a 3.
In a 4-man front, if one person is getting double teamed, that means 3 other guys are one-on-one with somebody, usually, unless they're in like a max protect type situation.
Right.
And even then, at least one motherfucker is one-on-one. And if you're getting paid the contract, you better be able to beat somebody one-on-one.
I agree. That's why Malcolm's best friend Carl Nassib got that sack on Lamar Jackson to win that game.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
Yep, that's all I'm saying is since he's your best friend and everybody was saying how the Raiders was trying to get rid of him, he's still doing something. Apparently, he ain't just come out as gay to save his spot. He still got some juice in the tank.
That he does.
I got a question. What are we going into? Week 4?
Yep.
All
right. Week 4, just real quick. I want to know who's in the Super Bowl as of right now in your head. Anybody? Like
Listen,
Buffalo
Both
and
conferences
Tampa Bay.
or what?
what you say? Les?
Say that again.
No, so like you mean like kind of like the runners to be like in the Super Bowl out of each conference.
Yeah, like who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl based off of what you've seen the first 3 weeks?
I like TB. It's explosive. As far as NFC, AFC, I'm still torn, man. I like Buffalo, and I like Baltimore if they can pull it together. I like Buffalo and I like Baltimore if they can pull it together. That'd be a good AFC championship. So I would like it.
You
No,
said a
she
good
said Super Bowl.
AFC, right? That's what I'm
She said
saying. You
Super
picked
Bowl.
2 teams
Yeah.
on the same side.
And it's like I like both of them teams. Like Baltimore's my team, of course. You know what I mean. But I'm realistic. Our team, like Lamar's been throwing the ball. He's been doing his thing. But there's still issues there. And then you got Buffalo, who lost to Pittsburgh, which I think they should have fucking won. But that's besides the point. But yeah, it's just I think one of them teams. So all right, I'll just say Buffalo. We'll just clear the controversy.
Don't make them-
in the NFC.
Buffalo and TB.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's your Super Bowl right there.
I'm gonna have to agree with Les.
I think
Across the board.
I'm sure you would. I think you know what? I honestly
Because I really would love the Bills to beat Brady in the Super Bowl. Like there's no more perfect ending to Brady's career than a loss to the Bills in the Super Bowl.
I think I'm going with my pops on this.
What's Pop's got?
Pop said the Raiders and the Cardinals.
I can see that too.
And I
Cardinals.
think he may be A1 correct on that.
The Raiders and the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be.
I think
That would be the worst rated Super Bowl ever.
You
Like,
think?
Yeah,
I
that'll
don't.
be terrible. I don't know.
I don't. I think that Raiders defensive line chasing around Kyler Murray would be very interesting to see.
I'd say that
Especially
of
now
course,
that we got DBs that can cover.
Right. I say that, of course, 30 minutes after I said the Raiders are one of the more popular teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You can help me out, guys, because I don't know who's on what side. So
The AFC,
excuse
the
me.
NFC, uh-huh.
Okay, so can the Super Bowl possibly be Cardinals versus Cowboys?
No.
They're both
No.
in the NFC.
NFC title game.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I could be.
So
NFC
one of them-
Because I don't think Tampa Bay is making it back this year.
I don't think so
Cardinals
either.
coming back.
I don't think so either.
I just
We
don't feel
said
it.
the same thing last year when they got blown out by Drew.
I've
You know
voted-
what?
No, I thought
What was you
thought
about
they
to
were.
say?
Even when they was losing, I knew they was gonna get it together. I knew they was gonna get it together.
I've bet against Tom Brady one too many times. So
Me too.
That's what everybody
Can't do
say
it
that.
again.
Everybody say that, and I said that. What was it? Last week. I said that shit last week. I said LA. Listen, on that Saturday show, we was doing our pick'ems, the whole 15 games, and I said I really think LA is gonna beat the Bucks. And
Oh
I
yeah,
let-
I felt
And
that.
I
That's
let
one
Mike
game.
talk me into going with the Bucks. I said the same thing Mike said. You don't bet against Tom Brady, I'll go Bucks. And they lost.
I felt that too.
But regular season, just like LeBron, regular season and
Different.
playoff Tom Brady are totally
Yeah, but the teams are
different.
different. And I don't know that picking up the same team is always a benefit.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
In football,
Right, in 2020 Super Bowl. But in 2021 Super Bowl.
Chemistry.
nah, I can't see that not
That's
being a
like
benefit.
saying I'll keep all the same tools I got in this bag that I used to fix this house. I'm gonna take to that house and I'll be able to fix everything. No, you may need a different tool.
Well, look at my Eagles in 2010 when we got that dream team. They called it.
he
They
wants
called
to.
it that all pro.
You just want to
dream
hear
team.
Eagles come out of your mouth.
No, I'm just saying we went 6-10. My whole point was they did what you said,
Right.
and it didn't work. Chemistry
I
can
think
beat
that-
talent.
Oh,
keeping the
you mean
same-
after they won that Super Bowl?
No, I'm talking
No.
2010.
Right.
We had Namdi Asamoah. We had Rogers Cromartie. We had Vic. We had Deshaun Jackson.
Sean.
We had a squad. We might have even had DeMarco Murray, I think.
Well, you
when he
didn't
came
win a
from
Super
Dallas.
Bowl.
That's
That
his
was
point,
Marco
though.
Murray, I ain't heard that name. in
Somebody
so
help
long.
him out.
That's
Mike,
that's
help
his
him.
point, though, Cliff, is that they put what they felt was the right talent, but the chemistry wasn't there.
Exactly.
Well, no, that's not why I don't. I feel like that's a mute point because my whole thing is they kept that Tampa Bay team because they feel the chemistry's there. But my point is the chemistry may have been perfect for the last season. But now we're in a new season, new teams, new quarterbacks, new lineups. I don't know that team is the best team for this season, which is why I don't know if they make it back this year.
I don't know that Tom Brady sticks around if he doesn't feel it is. Right. And at this point, I trust Tom Brady's instincts in terms of what team.
Well, see, that's different though, because Tom Brady also made that decision before those teams drafted, before all those players came back. He didn't know who he was going to face next year. He didn't know the mix-up, the trades that were going to take place.
Isn't that scarier? I don't care what happens in this offseason. I feel confident with my ability, my team's ability.
Yeah, but I mean, coming from somebody that in a one-on-one sport, everybody feels that way. Somebody here is delusional though. You're not there. Why would you show up if you didn't think you could win?
Yeah,
yes, you'd be surprised.
Well, but somebody here is delusional.
Can I redirect us just for half a minute, maybe 2 minutes?
The
Adele commercial. Did y'all already talk about this?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it yet either.
Oh my God! Seen it either. This commercial. It is basically Brady and Belichick as like Adele's, what is it? Hello
from the other side.
Yep. And it looks like those two are just jilted lovers the entire fucking commercial. And nothing made me laugh more this week than the picture of sad Tom looking at sad Belichick. And
at the end of the
so good.
Where she said damn, I can't. Can't
remember the line.
Yeah, that's what it is. I can tell it doesn't tear you apart anymore. And they just show the picture of Tom Brady staring at Bill Belichick, and it fades into black.
I don't know if that is the worst football promo I've ever seen or the best.
You know what?
Promo I've ever seen.
It was genius for him to put it together like that, but it was also like,
this is what's wrong with the game of football right now.
You know what? That's an accurate statement. That is a very accurate statement. Because it's like, do you assume that the same fans that watch football every Sunday?
Right. Is there a crossover between? Right. Is there a crossover between the NFL fan base and the Adele fan base?
Right. Like me, I'm just listening and I'm like, oh, that's what's the word? That's like witty, like that's not the word I'm looking for.
I understand. It's apropos, is what it is. Like,
I don't even know.
That song fits the situation.
Showed me a picture.
Edgar Allan.
But yeah, no, I didn't get much more from that, and I don't think that any other NFL fan is gonna be like Adele and Tom and Belichick.
I tell you what, as Bills fans, it's such a great commercial.
It was witty though. It was I can't find the word that.
Like I said, it is either the most genius NFL commercial ever or the worst NFL commercial ever.
I meant to send it to you too, Malk. You would have liked it with that blazer on.
All right. I'm sorry for taking us away from the.
No. What time? Oh, we were on are the Bucks coming in, and Britt asked who we see making the Super Bowl at the moment. Yeah, I see it being the Raiders and the Cardinals.
So we got Bills, Bucks, Raiders, Cardinals. Brett, I think you were still going back and forth.
Well, I think the Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals too.
And the Bucks.
Yeah, nah, I can't do that.
Can't do it.
I got to throw the Browns. I got to throw. Can the Browns and the Cardinals be in a Super Bowl?
Oh Lord!
Browns and the Cardinals could do it.
Yeah, Browns and Cardinals could play.
That sounds like a great Super Bowl.
In that case, I would have to root for Cleveland, but
nah.
The Bucks are in the NFC too, though.
Oh, she said Browns and Cardinals. Browns.
Right, but originally, didn't we say
Bucks and Bills.
no?
Buccaneers.
That's what you said, Britt. I thought you said.
No, that's what. All right,
That's
so
what I said.
Les said Bucks and Bills. I agreed.
I've
on
never
Bucks
rooted
and
for the
Bills.
Bills.
I think
Brett
Britt said
refused
the
it.
Bucks in the
No,
Bucks
she asked
and
the
the
question. She
Cowboys.
said-
No, I
Yeah.
don't think I already said I don't think the Bucks are going back. So I'm
No.
not
Yeah, you
going.
did say that.
He said
It
Cowboys.
said Cardinals. Yeah.
Yeah, Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I'm with the Cardinals. I'm with your dad. I'm with the Cardinals.
But did you
I
say
like
who's
what
coming
they're
out
doing.
of the AFC?
Browns.
I'm going with the Browns.
Okay.
Homer.
So the Browns and the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's a different type of Super Bowl.
Yeah,
It
I can't
is.
say that I couldn't see it.
I mean,
I
don't
wouldn't
get me
watch.
wrong. I love a cold weather team versus a warm weather team in the Super Bowl. So
But it's in LA.
It's in
right?
LA. Yeah.
that gives the advantage to Arizona.
Right.
Shorter flight.
I wouldn't watch it.
Does it though?
I'll be like, nope. I'm
You wouldn't watch it? You lying.
I don't like the brownies enough, I don't like the dog pound enough to want to be like,
You gotta
Let's
watch
see what
the
they
Super
got
Bowl
going.
though. You gotta watch.
nah,
the
I
Super Bowl.
wouldn't. I watch the highlights after it's already over.
But that's the thing. Like, transparently, I've had this conversation a lot recently because there's a lot of Browns fans on the dating apps. The Browns and the Bills are two very comparable teams. They both have had a lot of heartache over the last 25, 30 years. They both have fucking quarterback jerseys with 30 different names scratched off of them. And they are both in a position to make the Super Bowl right now. And they are both such downtrodden underdog teams overall in the grand scheme of the NFL. Like, if you put them against a NFL traditional powerhouse or against somebody like Brady or somebody from the West Coast, the rest of America is going to root for the underdog team in the Bills or the Browns. So a lot of comparisons there. I know I fuck with Britt on this with the Browns. At the end of the day, the Browns and the Bills are so comparable. Like, I can't root against either one of them until they see each other in the AFC title game.
Okay.
Which is now that is I feel like that's there's a great possibility that will happen.
Yeah.
You don't think so? I feel like there's a
now
good.
Patrick Mahomes way too.
Patrick Mahomes is
No,
one.
I'm not. I'm
You
not
counting
counting
out
him out.
my
I'm
3
just
and 0
saying.
Raiders.
I'm not
Oh,
counting him out, but look at last year. We literally were one play away from seeing the Bills.
Right.
I
Because
think
if,
you
Right?
if the Browns had beaten Kansas City, the Bills would have beaten the Browns. And
I
that's
think
how that all
almost
would
all-
have
Absolutely not. We would have walked straight to the Super Bowl.
Though.
We would have walked straight to the Super Bowl. If we would have got past the Patrick Mahomes. We would have walked straight to the Super Bowl.
I think you missed the point though. Last year
last year.
was last year. This year is this year.
Let's just
Okay,
wait
and like
for
I-
it.
What'd
Like
you say,
I
Mike?
said, there's still a good chance that could happen.
And let's
It cannot.
just
You
wait.
cannot count it out. You can't count that out.
No, I'm
No.
with you.
I
But
won't count
let's
it
wait
out.
for the midseason where the Raiders fall apart because they're the Raiders.
Exactly.
Well, see, here's the
Listen,
thing.
I'm not waiting to mid-season to say that my Browns is going to be in the AFC Championship.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not
It'll
waiting
be-
mid-season. I'm saying it now.
I'm
It's the
saying
Bills
the
and the
Super
Browns
Bowl.
in the AFC title game.
That's what you think. It's gonna be the Raiders and the Bills, and it's gonna be a rematch of that last
Where we whooped you. That's
live
right.
episode.
Hey, no, like storyline wise, I can see the NFL wanting the Raiders versus Tampa Bay, like
Yeah.
Gruden versus
that would be a good.
Bruce
Aaron-
Well, and
Bruce
just the
Arians.
marketing alone of putting the
Yeah.
Raiders logo
Like,
and
I
the
can see that
Buccaneers
for
logo,
sure.
like
yeah,
Right,
for
you
sure.
thinking of just the pictures. I'm
Right.
thinking of the history between the two.
don't disagree.
Right.
Gruden and everything
And that's
else.
the
I
one
can definitely
Super Bowl
see
that.
that.
I did see in my lifetime. And in my opinion, we did win it. They took it from us.
One in the alternate universe.
They took it from us.
Parallel
they
universes
took it
and
from
galaxies. We're on the wrong show, Cliff.
You gotta think they won by what, a field goal that Super Bowl on a team where Gruden left mid-season, or beginning season from coaching one team to another. That's a win in my book. Somebody that knows all your plays just left and played against you in the suit. I said that's a conflict of interest. They shouldn't have allowed it to happen.
Mhm. I mean,
They should have said
They
you
do it
have
with
a
players.
stand-in coach because your coach coached the team you're playing in.
that's no different than player. when
They do
players
it with
play.
players.
Right. It's no different than when players.
But
Yeah, but
coaching
players-
is different.
Yeah, players don't have access to the entire playbook.
Right.
They have access to their playbook.
Right.
That's true.
And even beyond that, they have
Nah, they got access. Y'all want Cam Newton to read the whole playbook, defense, offense. They got access. It's the same thing.
nah, it ain't not at all the same thing. But that would be a good rematch to see. And the only reason why I do think that the Raiders have a good chance of getting into the Super Bowl is because what I can say, as much as I do not like Carr, what I can say is nobody puts up as many passing yards or puts us in scoring position. There's not another quarterback in the league.
See, but y'all are talking about y'all's teams, especially you, Cliff, in the regular season. We're talking about the playoffs.
Well,
We're talking about
if you let me
playoffs.
finish what I had to say, you may
Mike
get
Silly.
an understanding of why I feel
Malcolm
like
Silly.
the playoffs are no different. It's because
Okay.
last year the Raiders had no defense.
Still
No
don't.
defense.
I think, Cliff,
None.
the only credence that I'll give to Malcolm's comment is a quarterback with playoff experience versus one that doesn't have playoff experience. There's a big difference there.
No,
And
I
that's
definitely
where-
agree.
And that's where Baker, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes, as far as the AFC goes, and even Lamar, really, and I don't particularly care for Lamar, but he's handling his business this year. I'll give him credit. Like, those four guys have more experience than Carr's going to have in his whole
You know what? I do agree. I agree with you 100%.
It's rare that I can change Cliff's
It's
mind.
it's gonna be the Browns and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Because I agree 110%. If Carr makes the playoff, he folds the first playoff game he plays in.
And that's not to say that they're not built to be a playoff team for a couple of years, but his first year going all the way, like,
No, I don't think that we do. Nah, that is a tall order. I don't think that we do anything with Carr.
I don't know.
I would be.
I don't think it's going
surprised
to come down to him. Don't think it's going to come down to him. And I mean, it will in a sense because he's a QB. But I think it's going to be like we were talking about before. If the other areas are doing what they're supposed to do, if Jacob is running that ball,
Well,
if
listen.
y'all's defense is on point, y'all's wide receivers is doing their thing, then he can get away with being Derek Carr, and y'all still can make it.
Not if he blows his load. Not if he's mentally not ready.
agree with that. But to Britt's point, and this was the point I made earlier, like, that's my biggest fear with the Bills. We don't have a run game. We don't have a strong enough run game. That's actually why, if you really pushed me on it, Cleveland's probably a pretty fucking sound bet right now with their ability to run the ball. Now,
I'm putting that.
transparently, I haven't watched enough of the Raiders to see how well they're running the ball. I know they are
I'm
running the
putting
ball,
Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs up against Chubb and
You're crazy.
but they also haven't had to.
Crazy.
Kareem Hunt.
I'm assuming Carr passed 1,000 yards in the first three games, right?
Yeah.
Because he was at like 900
Yeah,
after
he's
week
over.
two.
He's over 1,200 right now.
That
He's a
is
modern day Brett Favre.
insane.
But the issue behind that is he also averages about an interception a game.
That's a gunslinger, though. That's what Brett Favre used to remember. Brett Favre, remember, he broke the record for interceptions. He broke the record at one point for touchdowns.
all of the best quarterbacks have broken the interception record at some
Right.
I just don't like it though. I feel like over the seasons, if you haven't cut it back at all yet, you're not gonna. It's never gonna change. And those interceptions that you throw are opportune interceptions that we need. For instance, last week you threw an interception in the first quarter that was a pick six to a linebacker. How do you misread that? How do you misread that? A linebacker.
So wait, can I pause real quick and just talk about high school football for 10 seconds?
Do your thing.
So
I hope you explain to me some way how
I
an
am.
NFL quarterback can miss a read and a linebacker.
It's gonna be worse than that because we were running our prevent defense. My ends, I bump them all the way out, tell them beeline to the quarterback. What I tell my nose guard, because we ran a 3-man front, is shock and lock the center and drop. Told the nose guard this because he was new to the position during a timeout, the play before he intercepted the ball. So it's possible, especially if they take their actual read steps, which NFL linebackers are usually pretty good with, where it looks like they're coming down to support the run, and you think that window's there, and a good linebacker can get back into that pass drop, and you don't see him because linebackers typically are going to be shorter than the offensive line.
Listen,
and they're harder to spot. But I didn't see the play.
I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly from I know I'm remembering enough of it correctly, but this linebacker broke on the ball from a coverage position and ran it straight to the end zone. So there was never a show for a blitz for you to misread what he was doing. He was already in coverage position.
Yeah, he was probably playing hook to curl and came up on a slant, I assume.
I don't. You know what it is with Carr?
The route that was run.
You said, how did you misread that? You know what it is with Carr? He is scary. He's been scary since he got injured. He does not want to get hurt like that again. He's scared.
He is very scared.
And that is what's going to make you all lose. He's scary.
I don't think I disagree. I think I've changed my pick. I think it's going to be Browns. I think it's going to be Browns. I don't think the Bills are.
It's their run game, and they proved last year that when it came down to it, when they're against a good throwing team, we don't have the coverage.
I feel like the Bills are.
I just thought about something.
What's that?
Mike said the Browns and the Bills were very similar type team.
Yeah.
And y'all don't have anybody to run the ball.
Well, it's a historic.
Have a Nick Chubb. You don't have a Kareem Hunt.
My comment.
Mike, say it. Say the Browns are the better team.
My comment was that historically they are similar teams from a tragedy perspective. They both have tragic backstories. The Browns are the supervillain. The Bills are the team that need to die once and then come back.
From a poetic standpoint.
Right. It's all about beats.
Browns and the Bills, I would say.
Story beats.
Raiders too.
Raiders check all boxes. They got a 2-man front on the run game. They got a quarterback that, like you said, will at least sling the ball. He will at least get you 300 passing yards and a couple touchdowns. That is what I don't know how many interceptions comes with that, but he will get you that. Then we finally have a defense that can cover as well. That's what we didn't have last year. That's what we lacked. That was the issue, is that it seemed like the offense was always on the field because they would score easy on our defense. Now we have a situation where the defense are getting stops on 4th down. Shit I haven't really seen before in the past. So I feel like add that with what Carr is, even though I don't have faith in him, I feel like he'll take you somewhere, but he always folds under pressure situations, which is why I feel like we won't make it all the way.
The biggest challenge that the Raiders are going to have is the fact that Carr lacks playoff experience. And based on the murderer's row of a schedule you guys have at the end of the season, with having to play the Chiefs twice in like the last 6 weeks,
Chiefs, Browns,
and Cowboys, that's a tall order, and that probably knocks you guys out of home field advantage if you're still performing well.
Right.
Now, if you split that games, maybe you're still in a home field advantage type situation. But my gut there is that you don't have enough to run the table there, and it knocks you out of home field. And then you've got Carr on the road.
That's an accurate assessment.
On top of
his
first playoff game.
That's a very accurate
especially if you have to play in Buffalo in fucking January.
Listen, Buffalo would not be the team
nobody wants to go there.
I would want to see for Carr's first playoff game.
Right. And I'll tell you what,
I'd rather see Kansas City
and I wouldn't.
I'd rather see Cleveland. Listen, Raiders have a very good record with Kansas City with
Cleveland
Patrick Mahomes.
and Buffalo ain't too far apart.
But we're
talking about a 2-hour drive,
playoffs.
maybe.
At Lake
I
Erie,
get that,
baby.
but style, like we said, styles make matchups, and whether playoffs or not. If you know how it was playing football, where you played a team over and over and be like, we beat them every time. As long as you didn't go in there thinking you already won, you beat them again.
And in the words of Aaron Spencer, we're talking about playing for fun in the regular season compared to playing for money, quote unquote.
You are right.
Playoffs.
You are right.
Everybody steps their game up when you're playing.
It's
for the
Carr.
chip.
It's Carr. That's the one. I'm not worried about these rookie cornerbacks.
He said,
I'm not, right. I'm not. I'm not worried about these rookie safeties. I'm worried about Carr. Carr is my worry.
I mean, what are you worried about Carr for? What did you tell us a couple weeks ago? You guys got the best QB duo
He's just
in the
not clutch.
league, or
He's-
whatever
he's
you.
No, I said
He's
that was
good.
that's it. Before the start of the league, they said Marcus Mariota and Derek Carr were the best 1-2 A/B quarterback in the league, and I agree with that. I don't think there's another B that's as good as Marcus Mariota
Well,
on
then
any other
let
team.
Carr die. It doesn't matter, right?
Have I not said? I said we should have left him on the curb when we flew to Vegas. I've
he
been
said that
saying
for
that.
2 years. He said that for 2 years that he wished Derek.
Hey,
Carr
let me
would
tell
go
you something
away.
about Mariota, though. Even though he may not technically be the best QB overall, Mariota will hop in a game and throw you 4 touchdowns.
Mariota will make.
Against
the
He might not
ball
throw
move.
none the next game. Huh?
Against the Jets.
He hopped in that one game. I don't know what game
No.
was that against the Ravens, I think, for one play and ran a 25-yard quarterback keeper up the middle,
I could see that.
and
There
then
you
they
go.
pulled him back out. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why do you not let him cook? Like, let him get.
No.
Wildcat,
No.
baby.
Why would they mess with? Why would they listen? Any organization in their right mind, if they're smart, you're not going to mess with your starting QB. You don't really want a QB competition.
Right.
Once the season starts,
You don't want them dealing with
whoever
that.
you running with, you
Right.
running with. Yeah, you don't want them sitting there second guessing
Right, you're
themselves.
right.
Like we need.
Not in the NFL.
Well, right.
College, it's a little different, but not in the NFL. College, you can get away with it through those first 3 or 4 games before you hit conference. Now, conference schedules have gotten a little crazy over the last couple of years, but typically, when you're playing those 2 or 3 non-conference openers, you can have that quarterback competition. But by the time you get to conference play, you better have it figured out, or you better have declared a 2-quarterback system like Northwestern's done a couple of times.
Okay, so this is what we gonna do to close us out, right? We gonna do week 4 pick'ems
Pick'ems.
of our team specifically.
Uh-oh.
All right, that's the easy.
That's
mine don't
easy
even-
for you.
Easy.
Mine don't even need
Easy.
to pick them.
So what? How does this work?
We gonna do.
Are we saying if our team's winning or losing? Is that what that is?
I guess everybody votes
Yeah,
on.
give me win or losing by points. I don't need a score, just by points. So
I gotta see who we play. Who the Browns play this week?
Vikings. So let's
Oh,
go
we
with
win.
Browns,
Brownies
Vikings.
gonna win.
We win by 14.
Ooh,
Whoa. Okay.
What?
Vikings is nice.
What? We win by 14.
Mm,
Who has an issue with this?
lose by 8.
14.
Who lose by 8?
Browns. The Browns.
To the
Browns
Vikings?
by 14.
Just
Nope.
because.
That is okay.
Just because what?
Just because you're a Browns fan. Just 'cause
Nope.
that's your
Let me
team.
tell you,
It's
we
'cause that's your
can
team.
handle the Vikings because the Vikings, they like to run the ball, pass the ball. You know, they got a little bit of everything. So do we.
I think
So we
the
know how to play 'em.
Vikings are high off this victory over the Seahawks.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say Vikings.
Boo.
by 3.
Seahawks don't have no defense.
Yeah, they got
Vikings
Jamal
by
Adams,
3.
Bobby Wagner.
They don't have no defense.
That mean no top tier defense.
Well, we're gonna find out on Sunday.
I'll give it to the Browns, but I'm only going to give it to them by 3.
Mm.
Browns.
3. We not keeping it that close. 14. Browns by 14.
The reason why the
Adam,
spread is usually plus or minus like 3 or 5.
right.
Who you got, Les?
I'm gonna take the Vikings. I'm gonna take them by 6. I'm gonna say it's a touchdown. It's gonna be some special teams play. I think somebody gonna fuck up. Like damn, what's his name? Jamie Gilligan, whatever his name is. I think he's gonna fumble snap, and it's gonna be a motherfucking.
Why you got to talk about shit like fumbled snaps costing people games?
Listen.
I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a 6-point spread on Minnesota's favor.
Okay. What about you, Malcolm? In the middle?
Like I said, I'm gonna have
You
Vikings.
got the middle button.
Vikings
That's
by
it.
about 8. No, I got a couple more down here.
Vikings by 8.
Yeah, Vikings by 8.
Okay.
So what they doing a 2-point conversion? They getting a safety?
I'm thinking a field goal. I'm thinking. I don't know. I think this is gonna be by 8.
Gonna botch that damn punt. It's gonna go right in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, actually, Britt, I'm thinking a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to.
The only reason I don't agree with that is because it's in Minnesota and they'll play to take it to overtime. But
right,
Fair enough.
the road,
I know you guys
I would
feel
go
like they're coming off a great win, but I feel like we're coming off a great win too defensively. So
against the Bears.
we'll see. But it doesn't matter. Look, I just feel like defensively, we're still riding that high. So it happened. We set a record. I feel like that's still, no matter who it's against, I feel like that's still something to be proud of, and they're still riding off that. They're gonna bring that into the next game.
Well, hey.
All right.
I
wanna see it.
Fun one. Here's the fun one here. Eagles Chiefs.
Chiefs.
That's not fun. That's not fun.
Chiefs by 30. Easily by 30.
Shutout. I'm calling a shutout.
No, ain't gonna be no shutout, but it's gonna be by 30.
Shutout. It's a shutout.
Jalen
Who's
Hurts
y'all's
get a
kicker?
QB sneak.
Who's y'all's kicker? Y'all might get a field goal. Who's y'all's kicker?
Who's one of the best in the league? Josh Elliott or Jake Elliott?
Oh, well, that'll be the only way y'all score. I give y'all. You know what? I give y'all 3 field goals. Give them 9 points.
I give us
And,
5
give-
field goals.
Give the Chiefs 100.
Score. He just talking about
The sad part is-
score.
The sad part is
I'll play it. I'll
mean,
play it.
it really
I do
could
give y'all
happen.
9 points though. I do give y'all 9 points, and I give the Chiefs
So you think Chiefs by what? I said by
45.
45 to
Ooh.
9. That's not
All
bad.
Alright.
That's not bad.
I got Chiefs
Terrible.
by 31. I already had it written down and everything. So,
Chiefs by 28. They call off the dogs early.
okay.
I'm calling upset.
Put money on it now.
Man, I'm gonna have to go into sports bet and go ahead and put this in there.
I mean,
But I'm calling.
Hell
I'm
no.
calling.
You keep your money. You keep
Man.
your money in
He
your
could come
pocket.
up big
Man.
if he's right though.
all right.
Man, listen.
I'm talking about putting a parlay together. But anyway, I'll send y'all my picks in the group chat. But anyway, I'm saying Philly by 2. I think there's gonna be a late minute field goal.
They don't
And
have that
that's
in
it.
them. They don't have it in them.
I mean, it is in
I don't
Philly.
know.
They don't have it in them to beat
said it's
that
in
type
Philly?
of team.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' confidence
Oh,
is a little knock on the
yeah.
Chargers win.
Yeah, Mahomie. I think people's catching up to Mahomie. I think he still got it. I think he's gonna be a great quarterback. He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame. But people's catching up to him.
Not if you lose
Two.
to Philly.
Hey, can I make mine a little bit more detailed?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill will have 3 touchdowns.
Okay, let me write that down.
1 yard apiece.
I can't believe you,
Now I
Les.
want to know: do these actually ever get reviewed, or is this just Cliff taking notes to take notes and seem like we're gonna come back?
No,
It
we get reviewed. We'll
depends.
come back to it next week.
All right,
This is the
all
first
right.
time we
Les.
did pick'ems.
Are
Alright.
you like a thrill seeker? You know, you like to jump out of
He's a Gemini.
planes and stuff like
He's
that.
the Gemini.
Man, listen. All
No.
right,
I
next one.
I feel like that's what you're doing right now. Like you are looking for some excitement and you're getting
Nah.
ready to put it in a
It ain't nothing like that. I've been sports betting since week 1, right? And I've seen the most craziest shit for me. Like Bills losing first week, Steelers didn't project that. Kansas City losing to what was that? Vegas
Chargers.
or not Vegas? What was the game they lost?
They lost to the
Chargers. Didn't see that. Even though LA is good, I did not see that coming. And then there's a few other games like I could see
those coming. That to me, those weren't like long shots. Well,
not long shots, but I just didn't feel like they were.
The Chiefs wasn't a long shot.
I just didn't feel like there. And then you got like Denver and like Carolina that are undefeated. Like, what in the fuck is going on? Something's going on right now. I'm riding the underdog.
Well, if you ride with anybody, ride with the Broncos.
Well, and on top of that, Les, like I will tell you from personal experience over the last, we'll call it 28 years, there were plenty of seasons where the Bills started off 5-0 and 6-0 in that time and still didn't make the playoffs. So
that is crazy. That is insane.
Next one, we got Raiders Chargers.
Chargers by 15.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's a
now if any game I think is going to be
talking.
Justin Herbert.
Hey, you know what? I'm going with Chargers too, and the reason why I'm going with the Chargers because what we talked about earlier when you said that the Raiders play to the level of their competition, I think that they just had that easy game, so they didn't play a hard team, but it looked hard in a sense. So I just feel like they'll still be playing down a little bit. So I think the Chargers pull that one out just by a little bit. So I give it to them by 6.
Okay.
Chargers by 6.
Okay.
Raiders by 3.
All right. What you got, Les?
I'm gonna take that's interesting. I'm gonna go with a sports line. I'm gonna take the Chargers by 10.
Okay.
Is this gonna be in your parlay?
Right.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm glad you're writing these down. I'm gonna put a $5 parlay in, and I'm gonna play all the picks that I particularly talked about. I'm gonna just play it, and these are all underdogs, so I know that odds is gonna be pretty nice. It's gonna be pretty favorable for me.
I'm going Raiders by 14.
Right.
It's for the exact reason Britt said. We play to the level of our competition, and they feel like they know they had a bad game last week. So I feel like they're going to come out wanting to prove a point this week. And since we play to our competition with wanting to prove a point, I think we do prove one by at least pulling away by 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Lastly, we got Bills-Texans.
Texans by 40.
Bills by 14.
What you talking about, Malcolm?
I said Texans by 40.
And I gave you guys at least 20. I mean, I only called you by 28. So.
Right, Mike. You scared me to 3. Man, Bills by 25 at least.
I don't know.
At least. That's going to be their field day against these Texans. J.J. Watt's out, or he's gone, obviously. Sean Watson's not playing. Who do you really rely on? Who do you have?
I think this is going to be one of them closer ones.
I think it'll be
Bills by 14.
I'm going to go. So what I'll say, Brick had Bills by 14. I'm going to go Bills by 17. They win by 3 scores, but it's not pretty.
Okay. You think it's going to be like a late game type jump off?
Yeah, I think they score a touchdown in the 4th, and they go up by they get a stop where they kick a field goal late in the 4th.
Okay. Yeah, I see the same. I see Bills winning it too. I don't know.
So if we're talking about the Bills, if we're talking about the Bills struggling against the Texans, who are nobodies.
Well, but like the Raiders, the Bills play down to the level of their competition.
And once again, that goes back to what I said about the playoffs. Y'all's kind of teams can't play like them in playoffs against these Chiefs, these Ravens, these Browns.
I don't disagree. And we made it deeper last year than I thought we would.
You did. You definitely did last year, Mike. You were riding the high horse last year.
What you got, Les? Did you say?
Oh, no. I'm going to take the Bills 38-17, so 21 points.
I like it. I like it. That's a good score. That seems.
Yeah.
I think.
And there's your one non-underdog pick for your parlay.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that too, because I put my pick in your spot, and I was hoping I didn't have to exit out, all that. But we ain't gonna keep it. I don't even know if we should just for this. Yeah, let's do it just for the sake of Cali. Let's do the Jets. Jets Titans.
Oh Lord.
Titans by 30.
Why don't we even bring the Jets
Titans. I say Derrick Henry runs for 200 and 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
203 touchdowns. Let me write that down.
200
Derrick
yards,
Henry
3
might set the single
touchdowns.
season or the single game rushing record.
I give it to the Titans by 21.
That's very modest. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Derrick Henry scores all their touchdowns.
No. I didn't say he scores all. I'm saying they're going to win by 21. So other people might score. Yeah.
That's me.
Julio Jones and AJ Brown are there. So
Mike said Titans by 30. Les, who you got?
Man, I'm taking Tennessee. And I'm gonna take them. Shit, why not? Let's go for it. We're gonna take them by 38. We going heavy. Shit, I got the Jets not even scoring.
I
got the Jets 0.
See that. I can see it.
I'm glad Cali's not discussing the game on his birthday.
You know what?
We spared Cali on his birthday with this one.
Yeah, I'm glad he missed that. I'm glad he missed his mutilation because I'm gonna give a score and I'm with Les. I'm going Titans 42-0.
Ooh,
That's
I'm
fair.
I'm saying Titans win by 27.
Okay.
Them Jets might not even get on the board. You seen the one game they got blown out. I don't think they're gonna get on the board.
Listen, but I know we didn't get there. But at least Zach Jones, Zach Wilson. Who's Zach Jones?
Mac Jones,
Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson
I
together.
believe too. That'd be a mean quarterback. No, I'm just playing. But what I was saying was at least Zach Wilson did reduce his interceptions by 50%. He went from 4 to 2 last game. So improvements, Jets.
Exactly. Moving in the right direction.
Who's our hit the showers and we out this motherfucker?
I'm gonna give the same one I give every week. Tom Brady. Hit the showers, man. Get the fuck out.
Is there a reason?
It's
Man,
fucking
you
Tom
can't
Brady.
be playing the GOAT like that.
Okay, I get it. Well, Tom.
For a reason.
I'm sure his showers are nice anyway.
I'm sure they are, especially if Giselle's in there with him.
Man, listen.
Yeah, or Carl.
He probably hitting them motherfuckers as we speak. Who you got, Mark?
My hit the showers is going to my Philadelphia Eagles for that lackluster performance against the Cowboys on Monday night.
The whole team, everybody.
It just wasn't close from the beginning. I mean, just from the moment it started, it just looked bad. I knew
you would use a word like lackluster with that blazer top.
You know, I had to throw the money in professional word up in here. You know what I mean? Sliding one at the end.
The Eagles pulled the Revenge of the Nerds. Hit the showers, boys.
Right.
Oh shit, we forgot to practice.
right. That's how they look too, Mike. All game. What you got, Les?
Man, you already know Jets, Jets. You know, man.
Lord.
Cali, man. I hope you watch this podcast. At least listen to it. Man, you said 6 wins, man. I don't even see y'all getting 1 win. 0-17. Jets.
Damn, I'm writing that down too.
0-17.
Hey, you got to bet on that. You got to bet on that, Les. That if a team goes 0-17, you probably get a lot of money from that.
Probably. I mean, I got to see that's a prop bet. I got to see if it's a prop bet.
That might be pretty high.
0-17, top 1 pick for the next 3 seasons.
Yeah, they are gonna get all the wide receivers.
Right.
Oh,
like the Lions used to.
Because they're not gonna get no offensive line for him. Like they just don't do that. We play backyard ball in New York, 4-second rush. You back
They
there.
play NFL Street in New York.
Right. But
Did Brittany give hers?
Brett did not.
Yes.
Oh, you know what my hit the showers is? My hit the showers is
She said, "What? This about to be deep."
all the teams in the NFL except for the Buccaneers, because I feel like they're letting the Bucks put together this old school super team. Didn't they just pick up
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman?
We talked about
Yeah.
that earlier, yeah.
And I'm just like, come on, man. I just feel like they're just letting them just collect all the coins
It's
that they need to.
It's Lakerish. It's like
compare the
Yeah, like
all the old guys that aren't.
yeah,
quite
it matters.
yet.
It matters.
there's history in
It
LA.
matters because whether he plays or not, if the starting, I forget what position he plays. A cornerback?
corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So if the starting cornerback goes out, wouldn't you want to know that Richard Sherman is coming in after him?
Well, yeah. No, we had a whole conversation.
You know what I'm
about
saying?
this
So
earlier, I think, and I was for the pickup, so I'm not gonna play him like that. But
no,
yeah,
I'm happy he got
Lakerish.
picked up. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like it's one of those things like with Antonio Brown. Like,
I mean,
these
Buffalo
players can still be usable. They're still usable players.
Buffalo could pick him up and he could start right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so my thing is just like, the idea that they're just like letting these players in a way go over to these teams. And of course they probably want to go, but it's just like, you got to put up some type of fight, a little bit of a fight,
Right.
even with them being considered senior players.
Right.
No, listen, I get it. My hit the showers is going to Derek Carr. I don't know if y'all
Considering
saw,
you're a Raiders fan, man, you won't let this dude live.
But he's on his heels.
He's
on
going
his
in the
heels.
club tonight. He's going in the club tonight. And I hope Malcolm can help me out with who else is in it. But in the overtime, I don't know if y'all seen it, where he threw the ball away and almost hit the cheerleader, and the cheerleader ducked and just barely missed getting hit with that motherfucker. First of all, that cheerleader, I applaud you, because her reflexes was on 12. You hear what I'm saying? But Carr almost killed the cheerleader, so he's going in the club with
Hold on. This the same man just said he'd take out his mama if she was playing quarterback. But Carr can't throw the ball at a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. And in context, Mama, if you're listening, that's only if you're playing quarterback on the other team. So don't do that. But yes, that's correct, because that's my job if I'm on the opposite team. Listen, there is no relation while this game is on these two hashes of this field. We are enemies.
And I'm sure
until
Carr
that
felt
clock-
the same way.
Not about the cheerleader, and it was our cheerleader.
Listen, man, there is no relation when he on the field. He had to get rid of the ball. He said, fuck them hoes.
Right. I don't care who it is.
And that right
Man,
there.
woman, child.
And that right there.
Everybody
Well,
for themselves.
Well, you know what? Before we take us out, I think that's the way NFL quarterbacks pick their mate.
You almost killed him.
Just beam it at the bitch on the sideline you like, and
That's how they
That's
pick their
plus
side.
inadvertent thought, Mike.
I mean, as somebody who dated a girl that he accidentally clipped with a hammer in track and field for 2
oh,
years.
you like this same.
I
Hold on,
understand.
Mike. Hold on, Mike.
It was just the wire. It was just the wire. It
Hold on,
wasn't the
Mike.
ball.
I was only kidding.
From the girl I ran
Hold
over with the
Hold
car.
on now, killer.
Right, he just admitted to a
Hold
crime.
on now.
No,
Hey,
he
man.
ain't talking no necrophyt. No, I'm just playing.
Assault.
I'm done.
2 years. 2 years we did.
Statute of limitations is up. He be
Right.
right.
Hey, man, she was a school record holder. What can I say?
Mike can cut off 3 of her
man.
fingers by accident.
I don't even know if I want to ask anybody if they got anything to say to take us out. I think we covered everything. I think we
Oh
all just
Lord.
covered everything. So next time, I'll be
Saturday.
here Saturday. We'll see who we got. I'm supposed to talk this way. I'm looking.
Cliff, camera one.
I'll be
Cliff,
here
camera
Saturday.
one.
I'll be here Saturday. We'll see who we have with us. Maybe Ron Burgundy shows up for his breaking news.
I'll be here.
And,
Man, that's Mike Lowry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Michael Lowry.
that's Mike Lowry.
Lowry.
No, he don't have
Yeah.
enough style to be.
Malk Lowry.
Just bought a brand new suit last
Mike
night.
Lowry.
And he
Those
don't
are
know
some
how to
dudes.
shoot.
Lowry.
We'll see you next time.
Like, subscribe, share, all that.
Oh yeah,
Peace
right.
out,
Do that.
fools.
Peace, y'all.